Hi, many thanks for joining me today. I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. Like many countries around the world at the moment, we're in lockdown because of COVID-19 pandemic, and the date today is the 16th of April 2020. I thought I would make 4 videos introducing non-crafters to 4 of our all-inclusive card making kits. Couple of reasons for this. One is because it will help to while away a bit of your time during the lockdown, and also it will give you an opportunity to dip your toe into the card making pool to see if maybe this is something that you'd be interested in doing. But most importantly, it will help to alleviate a bit of boredom for you and give you something different to do. Unfortunately, I'm only able to sell to people in the UK, Netherlands, Austria, Germany and France. If you live in the USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand or Japan, please visit www.stampinup.com and then select the country, your country, and you'll be able to find a demonstrator who can help you. Once you've watched this video, if you think, well, that was fun, but I not really interested in doing any more, maybe you know somebody who would benefit from having something like this to do. Maybe it's a friend, family, neighbour. Orders can be placed via my online Stampin' Up shop. It's 24/7. I'll put a link in the box below. And orders are normally delivered within about 5 to 7 days by courier. If you wanted to buy one as a gift for somebody, you can order it yourself, pay for it. Just change the delivery address so it goes to the person who you're gifting it to. So that's really nice, quite easy. And I think that was probably all I wanted to say before I make a start showing you exactly what you get and how to do them. Now this kit is called Lots of Happy, and you get 4 cards of each of these 5 different kinds, and the price of them is €42.50 and £33. And they do come in French and German as well. So I will try and sort out the item numbers in the 2 languages as well and put those in the box below for you. So let me just show you how the kit arrives and what you do in preparation. Now I have this one here which I'm gifting to my granddaughter because it uses watercolor pencils, and she used to come card making with me years ago when she was quite small, and she really was, well, she enjoyed using watercolor pencils, so I thought this would be ideal for her. So this is what you get. This is how it comes. You get the 4 watercolor pencils, you get a little ink spot, you get a set of stamps and a block, you get some ribbon, and I will show you all these other pieces that you get because this is all wrapped up inside. I don't want to break that. So you get envelopes for all your cards, and they are all decorated like this. This little one here, I think that's absolutely ideal for putting inside a gift for somebody. I'm not sure I would actually use it as a thank you card to send out to somebody, but you may. It's certainly got an envelope to fit it, and I will say the quality of Stampin' Up envelopes are brilliant. They really are superb. They've got a little fold line there, so you just fold them over. They're just kept flat for packing, so you get all of those. That's the block, because I've been working with this one already. The pencils, let me make sure I can show you in the camera. That's the stamp set, and with this stamp set, as you can see, I tend to make all mine as thank yous because each month as a demonstrator I send out lots and lots of thank you cards. But the stamp sets includes sending you lots and lots of happy. Here's to the happiest birthday ever. So during lockdown you need to send birthday cards. This is a way of doing it. And also what you could do is you could make the whole lot up and put them back into the box, tie a ribbon around it, and you've got a gift for somebody. So this is thank you for being a friend. I'm always here for you. It's got a little flower stamp there and a bigger flower stamp. And this one is you deserve the best life has to offer. So whatever you're wanting to send cards for, I think there's a sentiment here for you. You get a little sheet of dimensionals, and these are double-sided adhesive foam pads which help you to pop things up off your card, like the sentiment there. If I can show, yes, you can see how that's popped up with dimensionals there, because you can see straight through it. There we go. Okay, so there's those. You get all your cards. Okay, and they are all folded as well, so you just need to fold them down like that and flatten that, and you get, if I can show you in here, okay, let me move that one over slightly and I'll move this one in. You get everything you need as sheets. As you can see, I've already broken down most of mine. I haven't done all of them because I wanted to show you. Okay, so that's how I lay all mine out. And all of these. Okay, now this is one of the sheets of the Vellum Leaves. Don't know if you can see how many there are. Yes, you can. Okay, now I'm not going to break all of them, I'm just going to show you. Do be careful with these because it is vellum. Although this is a very, very thick vellum, it's easy to pull the leaves off, they tear. Okay, so that one I'll finish off later. And then all of these other bits, they're all on a sheet like this, and they just need to be popped out. And I just keep all mine together like that. Okay, so again, I'm not going to pop them all out now. You get the idea. You will find that some of them get little bits left on them, like a little white bit there. If that bothers you, just snip it off. It doesn't unduly bother me. Now these were also on sheets as well. All these different bits. I lay them out so that I can decide what bits I need for a card, take all the bits, and then I can make a start with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll have a look at the leaflet and see which one it says first. Okay, so this is the leaflet you get inside, and these are the 5 cards. Inside you will find it's got French, German and Japanese here. This is the English, and these numbers here, they refer to the numbers on each card, and it will vary, but it will tell you which ones you need to pop up on, let's see, adhere using stamping dimensionals, which are those foam pads, adhere the Vellum Leaves, which I showed you a huge pile of those ones, adhere the ribbon, adhere the background, stamp in basic black ink. So it gives you all your instructions. Now I've already painted the images that I need for each of the cards, but I'm going to colour part of it, each one, so that you can show, I can show you how I do it. You decide yourself how you do it. For example, if I show you this one, you can see that I don't actually colour everything. I just put pink in the centre there, but the leaves are solid, and you'll find that with all of those that I've done, because I've done so many of them now, I've worked out how I like them to be. All the ones here I have done the way the instruction sheet told me to do it. Okay, Just make sure that I'm in screen here so you can see them properly. There's this one. That bow shouldn't be there, but the reason it is there is because I smudged some black ink on there, so I needed to cover it up. There's that one, and then there's that one. And before I finish the video, I will show you lots more of this set that I've done where I actually went off-piste, which means I did my own thing. Which these are your cards, you can do with them what you like. If there's something you don't like about it, then you change it. So to start off with, we've got this card first. So I need one of these. Okay, so that's a full size card, the biggest one. I need one of these, that's the largest size. I need a round one for the sentiment. I need a black and white thin strip, which is that one. And I need the one with the two flowers either end. That must be the big one. Yes, that one. Okay. No ribbon with this one. Oh, and I need lots of vellum leaves. So there's one. And there's two. Now, out of the 4 sets that I am doing videos for, this is the one that will keep you occupied the longest, because this is the one where you need to do the colouring. So if you love colouring, this is going to be absolutely fantastic for you. Right, so let me just fold that like that. I need to have access to the instructions, which are just underneath. There we go. Okay, so first of all, I am going to colour this. I've got it all done over there ready. I just want to show you. Now for this one, I use the lighter pink. In fact, the colours we have, that's called Flirty Flamingo. That's called it's either Blackberry Bliss or Rich Razzleberry. That's Rich Razzleberry, and that's Lemon Lime Twist, and the darker green is Old Olive. Right, on here it says I should use this one and this one, but I'm going to use the darker green. Now, if I'm going to assume you've never used watercolour pencils before. Now, in this kit, they are just being used as ordinary pencils. We are not going to be using them as watercolours. So, as you can see, I've been using these. I haven't sharpened them yet. Maybe I should have done, but we'll see. So, what I do, first of all, the leaves. When you're watercolouring, you either use a pointed bit of your pencil or you use a flat piece. The flat piece will do a light overall colouring. If you use a pointed bit and put some pressure on it, it will come up really quite dark. So first of all, I'm going to do some leaves. Now I'm going to do just the bottom bits, because did I colour them all on that one? Oh yes, I did. Okay. So what I did was nice hard colouring on there, and then turn it round to a nice flat bit, and then just light colouring there. I normally prefer to do circular movements rather than straight lines. Okay, so that's the kind of effect I go for on my leaves. Okay, and I would do that all over. This one here is a little bit different. In fact, that one there as well, that is just under the rose. It's just a very small triangle. So that one just goes dark. This one I do dark as a V shape, and then I find a flat bit and do circular. So it goes light. So you've got the shading there. Okay, that's that one there. And then for the flowers, for these little ones here, I get my sharp pointed bit. It should be there. And this makes the flowers come up really nice and dark. And you see, I still just do round circular motions. For the actual big flower, what I do is I just do a dark line on the above the outside line, and then I do that to all these others. When I run out of a pointed part of my pencil, I turn the pencil round because it means another area has gone pointed. And then it doesn't matter where you put the dark area, whether it's above or below. So then I find my flat bit again, and then I just go over circular movement and fill in the gaps. This is to give your flower dimension. When you look at flowers, there's always a dark area and a lighter area, depending on where the light is coming from, and this makes you look like a real professional. Now on this one here, let me see what it is. Oh yes, I just did like I did on the leaves, just do a dark bit at the bottom and then colour in the top bit very lightly. Okay, so have a look at all the flowers on that one. Okay, now if you like it like that, you know how to do it. If you don't like it like that, what I would suggest you do is, with the stamps that you have, once I've shown you how to do the stamping, you have got these little flowers here, so you could stamp those onto something, onto a piece of cardstock, and practice colouring it in on there. Okay, so you don't need to actually do it on these bits. So if you do that, you finish up with something that looks like this. Okay, now that goes on one side for me to finish off, probably tomorrow. So what we are going to do, we're going to follow what it says here. That is going to be going there, it's towards the top. We are going to put one of these, oops, somersaulted, one of these here. We're going to have another one that comes down here. This one's going to be going like that, and on here we're going to stamp our sentiment. That is going to go underneath there. Alright, as I say, this kit is the one that will keep you amused longest. So I am going to do all of mine with the thank you. And I am doing this to show that you don't need to buy anything else. Where's the block gone? Right, here we go. And the beauty of these blocks is that they are see-through. Now I hope I haven't picked up the wrong ink pad here, because I know I've got one that's dried out. I think that looks alright. Okay, so to ink your spot, your Stamp Up rather, you use your ink spot and just make sure you go all over. You can see whether you've covered everything. And when you're happy that you have, put your ink spot down, cover it up, put the lid back on it, turn this over. Let me see how far down I can come so you can still see me. I don't want to put my head under the camera. And then just put that down in the centre. You could put it towards the top, towards the bottom, and then stamp one of the little flowers in there. In fact, I know I've just forgotten something to tell you. Right, I'm going to finish stamping this and I need to rewind. You must always have a test stamp, especially if you've never stamped before. I always do. I've been a crafter for about 12 years now, and I always with my new stamps test them on a scrap of paper. Well, there we go. That didn't do it too well, did it? Let me just get a scrap of paper. Okay, so this is a bit of paper that I'm recycling. So maybe that wasn't a good ink pad to pick up. Let's try again. Okay, so this is my scrap. This is what I recommend you do before you try doing this. Now, if you do this, for example, what I suggest you do, if you're not happy with it, because I'm not happy with that, turn it over. Use the other side. Right, let's try again. Let's see if this is wet enough. Well, it certainly looks it. Now, this kind of ink does dry quickly, so once you've inked your stamp, don't take too long in stamping with it. Okay, and then take your block, turn it over and press hard all over, but don't rock. Okay, don't rock the block, otherwise you'll find that you'll get a shadow, because as it will lift up, chances of it going back down in exactly the same position is pretty remote. Right, let me see if... Oh, that's much better. Okay, I think I just picked up one of the Ollie's the pad that had dried out. So I'm going to do it on here now. The only thing it means is that I am going to miss out on the gold line that goes round the outside. Okay. Now, even though these stamps are see-through, I would not try and line this up again and stamp on top of that. I just know that I would not be able to line it up correctly. Right, let's have another go. That looks about the centre. So let's press down again. Making sure that I press all the way round, but I'm not allowing my stamp, my block to rock. And also make sure that when you're not using your ink pad, you put the top on it. As I say, it does dry out. Okay, let's see what we've done this time. Much better. In fact, that almost looks like I've got a shadow on it. It looks like I've moved the block. Now we'll show you this so that you can see what I mean. It's more obvious down this side. Okay, it looks as if I've allowed the bottom of the stamp to come up. You see how it's got like a shadow to it? Not so much a shadow, but it's a bit thicker than it should be. Okay, but I'm going to use that. So let's see, what do we need to do? Sometimes with these kits, you are recommended to purchase some liquid glue. No, it doesn't say anything about liquid glue here, so how do they recommend you adhere this down? Number 5, is that what it is? Adhere the background. Okay. Did we have any glue dots in ours? We didn't, did we? So you must need some liquid glue to go with this one. Right, so you may have liquid glue in your house. If not, we do sell this, which is Tombow, and it is probably, well, as far as I'm concerned, it is the best liquid glue ever. All you need to do is put glue around the outside. Okay, maybe a squiggle in the middle, but you don't need masses, you don't need to cover all of it. And I always keep my glue in a little stand-up pot like that. The stand was a gift from a friend of mine in the US. When you put your glue on here, if you think you've put it on too thick, I recommend that what you do is, with your piece of scrap paper, I can't use that one, can I? This is what I've been using for the other videos. Okay, so what I would recommend you do is that you blot this, and that means just popping it down and taking off the worst of the glue on there. Don't know, can you see the shine there? Yes, I think you can, can't you? Okay, I'll throw that one away now, because otherwise, knowing me, I'll finish up by putting something on top of it. There wasn't too much glue on this piece anyway, but I just wanted to show you what I meant. Okay, so that goes on there. Next we want this one. Let's put that there. Let me just double check what the ingredients here were. Dimensionals. Yeah, okay. So this one I'm going to adhere. Now this to me looks like I've left that sort of a gap, although I think mine is probably a bit higher than that. But that black and white strip is almost 2 circles up on this design, and there's a gap both ends for it. So I'm going to put some more glue on here. Don't do that on your piece. Don't do it on your actual cardstock. In fact, if you've got another piece of scrap paper, I recommend that you use that. Now you don't need tweezers, it's just the way that I work. And that's going to go on there, about nearly 2 circles up. The nice thing about using Tombow is it will leave you a little bit of time to move it if you haven't got it in the right place first time. So what do we need next? We need these. Now with vellum you can see glue through it, so where you adhere this down you want to make sure that you don't put glue where it can be seen. So what you might find easiest to do is to actually adhere it on here like this. So what I would do is I would position it the way I want it. I would chuck it on here to make sure that it's not going to go up off my card, because don't forget I've put my liner here a bit higher than it should be, so that would fit in alright. So hold it like that, turn it over, and now I can see where I can put my glue and it's not going to be visible. Okay, so hold it in place. So I want a little bit there, just a little dot of it, little dot there, and that will be enough to hold. Okay, now I'm going to do the same at the other end. This card set is not one that you are going to get done in an hour or so, which is why I think this is such amazing good value. So how far down does this one comes? Just out of this flower. Okay, what I'm doing here is I am trying to follow the guidelines that they're giving. It's not something I'd do always, but as this is a demonstration, I thought I'd be good. Okay, so we have that. Let's put it on here. The only trouble putting it straight onto the vellum is you might put it somewhere where there's a gap in the cardstock. Let's just lift that bit up. There we go. And obviously don't leave your lid off there. So those two pieces are good to go. It says to put this on here, I'm going to put that on once it's up there, I think. There's no ribbon. And has that been popped up on dimensionals? Well, let me have a look. Number 2, I think. What does number 2 say? Oh no, that's colouring. Number 3. Have you got number 3? Just that one. Okay, so it's adhering this down onto the card. So again, you don't need to have glue all over the place. I tend to try and do the outside and the little bits that stick up, but just little bobbles. I'll bring this up to the screen so you can see exactly where I've done it, so that you get an idea what you can get away with. Now I'm not going to put it on the leaves that are standing outside of the image. Okay, now just have a look, see where I've gone with the glue. Okay, on the little bits there, just round by the outsides. And again, if you put any bits on here that you think is too much, blot it on your scrap paper. Well, I'm quite happy with what I've done, so I am going to pop this on here. Touch it all down so it adheres down nicely. Now this one I am going to put on dimensionals. So you just bend it like that to get your first one off. And I just tend to put 4 on a circle like this, and I tend to do north, south, east, west. Like that. And then you can put your finger now onto your backing, and that normally makes it easier to get the backing off. Okay, and then pop this in the centre of the circle that you have there. Okay, so that's that one. That's card number 1 done. Card number 2 is our little card. So let's get one of these. And again, it's got a score line there. Just fold it over, make sure it lines up there, and give it a good press. If you find that one side is shorter than the other side, put the longer side at the front. Okay, I don't think that, well, it's absolute tad little bit longer on the front, not very much at all. So what we need for this one is, let's move over there so that you can see. We need one of these. We need the piece of gold, the thin one with the 2 flags either end. So that's that one. We need the triangle, which is that one. And the flowers, we need this one. Okay, so let's pop that back. Now again, I'm going to stick with the 2 flowers, the 2 colours that I've been using, because I like these 2. Don't think there's anything new on this one to what I've shown you for the other flowers. These little ones, I find a pointed bit of my pencil, and then I just colour it in more or less as a circular movement. like that. Let me have a look, see what I did. Yep, I've done exactly what I did with the other one. I did dark lines on the outside. The reason I'm doing one of everything is I know there's one that I will be giving you an instruction that doesn't apply to the others, and rather than run the risk of me needing to tell you something different about on one of the other images, I thought if I do all of them then you're covered, or I'm covered. Okay, so all the way around the outside, pressing nice and heavy with your pointed bit, and then round that outside bit. As I say, you can't do anything wrong. Well, apart from getting a splodge of ink somewhere, which is what I did with one of the cards. But the colouring, you do it how you like it to be. How did I do these? The same as the one before. So that's dark at the bottom. And then on a flat bit of the pencil, nice circular movements. Okay, so on this flower here, what did we do on that one? Yep, this one I just did it at the bottom and then coloured that in gently. And of course I did that to all of this one as well. Nice circular movements. Okay, so you got a little leaf there, a couple of leaves there, little flowers there. Okay. I could spend hours doing this, really. So let me just bring that up to you so that you can see what it looks like close up. Okay. So this is the one finished. You see what the leaves look like, light and dark. It's so easy to do. So that one again will be finished off. So we need to adhere that down first, and then that. This needs to be stamped, and that will go over there. So stamping first. What stamp did I use? Still the same one? Thank you for being... Yep. Okay. So ink. I don't think I've said on this video about cleaning your stamps, have I? All you need to do is to clean them in water. You can use soapy water if you like. Don't dry them with anything that's fluffy like towels. You won't wash the black stains off, but the black stains won't affect the quality of the stamping. The black won't come off. If you bought more than one set, for example, one of them at the moment has the ink spot is in Bermuda Bay, which is a beautiful turquoisey blue colour. You could still use this stamp with it, and the black wouldn't affect it at all. Right, let me concentrate now, otherwise I'm going to lift this off and it's not going to be stamped all the way round. Okay, let's see what we've done. Yep, that's good. So move the stamp out of the way, move the ink spot out of the way with its lid on. So first of all we need to put this one in place. if you buy one of the Tombos, if you do find that it dries up, you just take the little plug thing out of it. Now let me just pop that into my bin, but then be careful when you do start using it that it doesn't come out too quickly. Okay, all the way around the sides and a little bit in the middle. Okay, so make sure the gap at both ends is approximately the same, and top and bottom is approximately the same, and that it's straight. And then I am going to add, oh, that's coming over the top of the flowers. Okay, so we want this next. Do we have any Vellum Leaves? Don't think so, doesn't look like it. So I'm going to pop that on next. And when you put this on, these leaves, you've got to try and make sure they don't come off your card. And try and make sure you get the same amount off there as you had there. So I just go around with the Tombow basically, but where I've got little round bubbles at the end, I do try and put just a little spot of glue on there. Not always easy. There we go, that should be fine. So if we bring that over, making sure it's equal, leaves not coming off the card. There we go. And then we've got to have this over the top. So we put some glue on this. In fact, you know, it doesn't actually say, but we could put that on top there. And then put that all up on dimensionals. So let's try that. We need to put the glue on here. In fact, put it on here. You don't need too much. Don't go too far towards the end. Just make sure that this is, you've got the same gap that side as you had that side, and that it's straight. As you're using Tombow, if you're using Tombow rather, you will have a little bit of time to get that into the right position. And now we can pop this up on dimensionals. Right, now this is one of the things I wanted to show you. First of all, we put one top, one bottom, and for this end, shall I? Yes. You have to excuse me if I repeat myself doing these cards, because I just finished making video 3 and it's difficult to remember what I said on that video and what I haven't said on this one. Okay, so if I repeat myself, it's not a bad thing really. It's much better than not having said something. Okay, so that's the dimensionals. Come on. That's better. Right, now I'm going to put this on so that it's in the centre, straight. Could go, oh yeah, you're going to come off, yes. You also get a little bit of time to move something that you've applied with dimensionals, as long as you don't actually push it down until you're happy. So I think that's okay. And there we go, that's card number 2. Do you think that that's better to be going in with a gift set rather than posting? I'd be interested to know in other countries whether you're allowed to post those kind of sizes. I know in the US it costs extra to post square cards. Right, so that's card number 2. Let's do this one now. So let's see what we need. We need one of these. We need let's put that down there. We need one of these thick gold pieces. We need 2 pieces of the leaves. We need a square sentiment piece, and we need some ribbon, which I've got hanging both sides of my it's hanging off my camera actually. Right, so first of all, oh I know, yes, it's not just that piece. We also need 2 of these, which is almost the same. I'm not sure if it is exactly the same as, yes, it's almost the same as that little stamp there as well. So if you mess these up, you can always re-stamp it and colour that, and then what we call fussy cut, which means cut that out by hand, leaving a little white edge all the way round. So first of all, colouring. Again, I am going to be using this and this. Right, let's do the leaves first. And I go over these and I colour all the leaves. Now you will come to bits where you think to yourself, is that a leaf or not? Well, you look at it and you decide. If you think it looks like a leaf, trust me, other people will think it looks like a leaf. Right, let me just see if I can get my pencil sharpener here, because this is getting a bit too small now. Okay, so if I use this. Now I don't want to go too far. Okay, that'll be fine. I'll just pop that into my bin. There we go. Now these leaves are very, very small, so it is easier to have a bit of a longer point on them. Okay, so all of these I do just go over and colour all of them. And then for the flowers, this one here, I don't know how well you can see it, but that one there, I don't count that as 3 leaves. I think that's 2 leaves on either side, and that heart shape I think is a flower. So if I colour it as a flower, it makes it really look like a flower. Okay. And I just do it dark at the bottom. I do the centre dark, and the rest I leave blank. Now that isn't as they show how to do it on here, although it's not dissimilar actually. They look as if they've just got pale pink. Don't know, is that? Oh, I know, that's because my light is so low. Oh, I hope you've been able to see the other things that I've been showing you. Okay. So that in there, very, very pale. So I'm doing the same, but just very dark in there. Okay. Do you know, I don't think you've been able to see those other dark bits, have you? Well, before we go on, so that I don't forget, let me bring this one close up to you again. Okay, so you can check out the big flowers and the leaves. Okay, so there was that one, and there was that one as well that we've done. I'm going to be showing you quite a few at the end anyway. So that's how I do that one. Keep going, and then you finish up with something that looks like this, which I think is rather pretty. Yeah. A card for that is this one here. I've got scrunched the corner up a bit there, so I'll put that at the back. Okay, so that's going to be going on there, like that. So next we need the 2 flowers as well. There's one. I don't know what I've done with the other one. So let me just quickly colour one of these, and we'll use this. I'll find it later. Okay, so just colour the inside. And then colour the leaves. There we go. Didn't take any time at all, did it? So let's stick this piece on first. We also need 2 pieces of 3.5 inches of ribbon. Okay, I've been leaving mine hanging out like this so that it can get rid of some of the creases. You just need a ruler, because I am determined that apart from providing wet glue and scissors, you don't have to buy anything else to do this kit. Right, 3.5 inches. Oh, get your... I keep one pair of scissors just for ribbons. There we go. So first of all we're going to adhere this, and the card opens up this way. In fact, would it be better if I did that? No, it wouldn't, would it? Talking to myself, which I do quite a lot. Just round all the sides, and then pop that so you have the clear band going across. I make sure that I line up around here. I finish up with a very, very small gap on that side. But if I do it like this, I feel that it looks like it's meant to be like this. Right, so I've done that bit. And what's going to happen next is I am going to pop that bit on there. And then the ribbons are going to be going on there. And then the 2 flowers are going to be underneath the sentiment, and we've got these as well, so don't let me forget these. Again, my sentiment is the same. This would make a nice birthday card actually. This design here and the colouring is my favourite out of all of them. Oh no, there's another one that I'm really keen on, isn't there? We'll come to that. Okay, so inking this up, concentrating, make sure I do all of it. Pop the top on, turn it over and ink it straight. Give it a good press. But just don't let yourself rock the block. It is so easy to do, trust me. There we go. That's good. So what I think I'm going to do is, they've got one flower on here, so I'm going to adhere that onto there. Okay, so that goes there. Put it level with the U of thank you. Just give it a couple of seconds for Tombow to get a grip. And then the other one is going to be the other end. They've both got two leaves sticking upwards, pointing upwards really. Okay. So I'm doing them level with each other. It looks as if possibly they've taken just one leaf from each, but again I'm just going to pop that like that. As long as it doesn't pop over the edge of my card, that's alright. So again, I'm going to put it on like this. There we go, that's nice and easy. And I'm going to do the other one coming out the other end. But again, I will check it. It's going to be like that. That will be like that. Okay. You can cut the stems off if you like, they're really not necessary. There we go. Okay, so that's all right. I've got some glue coming out there. If you find you get that, it will dry. They say clear, but it dries shiny. And if it dries sticky, just put some powder on it, like talcum powder or something, and that'll take the sticky away. So next bit we've got to do are these two. So what they have done is they have put the two pieces side by side, and this is ombre, which means the colour is getting lighter as it goes towards the centre, but you need to be able to fishtail those ends like this has been fishtailed. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put some glue on here to hold my ribbon. I'm going to have the lighter bit that goes in the centre, and what I'm going to do is the line where it's lightest, it's going to go right into that point. I will be able to trim it afterwards. Okay, so that's into the point. That's into the point, and that Tombow will hold it. I'm going to do the same again, right next door. The lightest colour on the inside, and I'm going to line them up side by side. Okay. As I say, this is your card. If you don't like this, you think this bit's too fussy, you don't have to do it. I have to say, it does add a nice little touch onto your card. But if you're not a card maker, you may not like the fiddle bit. So it's up to you. Okay, so that one I've cut as short as the gold. So cut that one, and then cut that one. There we go. Oops. Oh, that was silly. I pulled that one down and then cut it too short. those two line up. So let's cut this one a bit shorter. They may disappear now, but if they do disappear, it's better than having things that are wonky. So if we put that on there now, and then we could pop that up on dimensionals. So we have Tombow on the back. That just goes on that blank line you had there. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then this one we're going to pop up on dimensionals, and we're going to do not north, south, east and west, but in each corner. If you want to put some, oh, let's put one in the middle as well, shall we? If you want to put something there, I would cut one of these in half. Okay, so that's propping that one up, and that will prop that one up. Okay, so what is this, card 3? You see, it's not going to be, doing this is not a 5-minute job, so which is why I think it's such excellent value for money. 20 cards for £33, I think. Right, now I'm going to pop that onto there, trying to make sure the leaves don't go. Yes, I'm going to cover my ribbon up. That's clever, isn't it? Oh well, never mind. It's my card. You can just about see it under there. There we go. But isn't that pretty? I love that. Oh yeah, I put a bow on that, so you could add a bow. In fact, because I lost my ribbons up there somewhere, I might finish up putting a bow on that one. So there's that. The next card we're going to do, those are the two we've done. So we've done 3, yeah, it's these two. Okay, so let's get what bits we need. Now this one, we need one of these large pieces. We need one of these large pieces. We need a square. We need one of these pieces. I think that looks as if we've got about 3 of these. And there's some more ribbon in there as well. The ribbon is, again, 2 pieces, 3.5 inches. You watch me bury this as well. Right, in fact I'll tell you what I'll do, I'm going to do 4 inches. I'm sure there'll be more left over anyway. So let me just clear this. Colouring first. So yes, I'm still using my same 2 colours, but this time what I'm doing, I'm only colouring half. So with my leaves, I'm just doing it really nice and dark, but halfway. And I'm not worrying about having straight lines there. And for my plums, I don't know if these are plums or not, I just do half of these as well. In fact, if they are plums, they've probably been better being done in the rich raspberry, which is a darker pink. But never mind. Okay, so that's all I do all the way round, and I finish up with something that looks like this. Okay, quite easy to do, isn't it, eh? So that one has been started, it can go over there. Right, now we're going to sellotape this together. So first of all, this needs to go onto the white square. So you should get just a little gap all the way round. That's probably about 1/8 of an inch, I suppose. And then I think we're having the leaves underneath this. So are both pieces the same? No, the one with the 3 comes on the left hand side, and I think we've got one of these here somewhere and one of them here. Depending which way you've got these round, the leaves go either the same direction or the different direction. Like, can you see those two? Yep, they're both going the same direction, but if you adhered them, if you wanted, you could have them go in different directions. I don't think there's really a right or wrong here. So there's one there, and there is one that comes down underneath here somewhere. So I'm going to do these one at a time and glue them. So let me just do a little bit there, a little bit there, and I'm going to cut the stalk off, because the stem rather, we don't need that. And then I need another one on here. In fact, let's turn that over. I am going to put, should come down like that. Okay, that's good. I think that's a very good position. If there's any of these embellishments that you don't like, you don't have to use them. Alright? Cut that one off. So that looks good. And then for this last one, in fact there's even a leaf coming down here. I wonder if they have used 4. It doesn't actually say. So okay, we'll have one like that. So let's hold that in place. Whoops. That's a good one to put some under. Got my finger locked then. I couldn't bend it. Oops, that's rather a lot. Never mind. And let's take another one. There are absolutely masses of these leaves in here. So where did I get to? I've actually bent my branch there, so I've got to be careful. So that one's okay. And then this one is just like a leaf coming down by itself. Okay. Now, as you see, I haven't measured this against my card at all. Now you're going to find out why you should, because no doubt these are going to be going all in the wrong places. But not much fun if you can't learn from me, is it? So let's put that there. I have another one of these big cards. Fold that in half. Give that a good flatten there. And then I'm going to put this on. Just round the outside and squiggle in the middle. Use it like this and your pot of glue will last a very long time. There we go, that's that one. So this is going to be popped up on dimensionals, that one. We need our sentiment, so let's bring this one over, get the stamp back. Thinking about it, if the plums were done in a bit of a darker colour, especially that rich raspberry with dark leaves, it would be fine as a masculine card. Because plums are, well, they're not feminine, are they? Okay, so it gives that really, really good press, including in the middle. There we go. So put the stamp out of the way and cover the ink and put that out of the way. And we also need our two pieces of ribbon. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to adhere them to the back of this sentiment, and I am going to, scissors, just going to cut the ends. They do theirs both in the same direction, okay. Make sure you've got that turned the right way, and then you can put this on here. And what I'm going to do this time, nice and easy, make sure I've got those the same length. Right. So now I am going to use dimensionals to hold those in place. Okay, so I've got that one at the ready. That looks about halfway down. Put that there. And then I'm going to put some glue underneath the ribbon. Oops, that's rather a lot. Never mind. Right, let me just show you. Okay, so I've got the glue dot, not the glue dots, I've got the dimensional on the other side there. And I'll put a glue on that side. And then I can adhere that down. And when it goes onto my card, it's going to be very, very secure. Make sure I've still got that about the same length, although I can, oh, done that back to front, haven't I? Silly Billy, never mind. We can straighten that up in a minute. So I'm going to put some more dimensionals, one in each corner. And so if I put this one on first, I'm going to anchor that down on there, and then this can be popped up. So I'm not going to put any glue where the vellum is coming over the edge of the white. That's because the glue will show through the vellum. Put a little bit of glue there as well. Oh, I didn't put any glue up here, did I? That should be enough. Now, which is the one? Right, that's it. That's the right way around. Let's turn it that way to make it nice and easy for me. Right, just turn it back, just make sure it's nice and straight. Yes, that looks good. So apart from the vellum leaves that you can see, it's all adhered down. Did I take the... no, I didn't. So I'm going to take the backings off the glue dots. I think I only took it off the centre one, didn't I? Let's straighten that up again. Yep, that's okay. Okay, so this does look far too long, this end. So I'm going to do it so it looks the same as that end, which is the points going out from the centre. Okay, so there's that one. And then the final card, last but by no means least, this is one of my favourites, I have to say. So what do we need? We need a small one of these. We need this for the sentiment. We need 6 inches of ribbon folded in half. So if you just measure 6 inches, anything else I need? Yes, I need some leaves. I suspect 2 of them. So I have those 2. And we need one of these and one of these. Now this is the one that takes ages to colour. But it's very, very satisfying to do. So let's do our stamping first. Okay, put your lid on the ink, move that out of the way. Bring this over. And stamp. Give it a good press, but don't rock. You'll notice that I've got quite a lot of ink on my block, around here and all around here. That won't get onto my label. Okay, so put that over there, move my stamp right out of the way. Now this one I am going to be using my dark green, which is Old Olive, and also Rich Raspberry. And the card that I need is the second to smallest card. That's this one. Fold it in half. Make sure your corners line up and then flatten it. That will be adhered across there eventually. Right, so what I do with this one is the leaves again. Now on this one I always do the leaves first. Was it this one with, or was it that one? One of these I know there was I think it was this bit here. I often miss that little leaf there, and I do the leaves first because then it makes it easier to decide where all my little flowers are. And on this one you will find there are lots of flowers and you think, is that a flower or isn't it? And this is your card. If you decide it's a flower, chances are somebody else is going to be looking at it as a flower. Okay, so all the leaves, go and do those first. You will also find here in places, once you've got a pointed bit on your pencil, you'll find you can see the green stem going through. There's a bit there as well, and a bit there. It's quite a bit over this side. Just little stretches of it though. And then these are all leaves as well. And then these stems. And so you go around doing all your green bits, and you'll find there's green bits here as well, but no leaves on this one. And then you've got the stems coming down too. Okay, so that's all the greenery. And then for the flowers, I just colour the first little, say half of it. But you will come to loads of them and you think, is that a petal or not? Let me see if I can find one that's a good example. I don't know if you can see those three there. That big one there, it looks a bit strange. So where do you put the next bit of pink? I just keep telling myself it's all against the stem. Just keep them all against the stem. And this here as well, round here is strange. Is that bit in the middle there part of a petal? And what's this petal adhered onto or attached to? Just can't see. So you just go through and you do what looks right to you. Okay, so once you've done that and you've done that, you finish up with something that looks rather like these. Let me lay them flat on my hand so you can see. Okay, now you can finish off doing the white part of the leaves if you want, like we did on the first card. You could also, on the white bits of the petals, you could go with those in a light colour. But before we finish, I will show you the different ways I've done these cards when I've not been following the guide. So first of all, we're going to take this piece and adhere it onto our card. And this is about that far up, I imagine. If I bring that over, can you see that? Yep, you can. Okay, so I think I've left that sort of gap here. And let's put the leaves. This one here goes on top of this one. Okay, so we'll put the leaves onto this. How many did I say that I bring over? 2. Okay, so we'll have these. I'm going to put one like that. So that comes out from underneath that green leaf. Like that. And then this one I'm going to do so that that leaf comes out from there. Okay, so that's how I'm going to put those 2 on. So first of all, let's do this one. Just memorising where my white bits are. So a little bit there and there. There. Let's move that over a bit because that's going to be too hidden, I think. Right, okay, a little bit there. And then this one has got to come over that flowery bit. So if we turn that over slightly, then I can see where I've got to put the glue. My finger just locked into place again. Right, okay, so that's all right. Yes, that looks good. So if I adhere that one down on there, and it's sticking out a bit far, can I move it? No. So if you do this and it's too far, you don't want it as far as that, what you should be able to do is, if you bend it back and then fold it coming in a different direction, like that. Okay, so there's a little fold in there, getting it to go upwards. Okay, so that fits in much, much better. Okay, so let's put our glue on the back here. Again, only on the bits, oops, no, not there, only on the bits where you've got white. Otherwise it will show through on your vellum. There we go. This one's going to be popped up on top, and then where's my sentiment gone? And then my sentiment, so I wonder if I could adhere those 2 together, and then the ribbon has got to be on the back of this, folded in half. Okay, so when they say folded in half, like that, and then just have those two very, very slightly apart. Let's just make sure we've got the, what did they do? Both the same direction. And then that's got to come across here. Okay, so what I've done is I've got the folded bit along that straight bit of the sentiment, and those two bits are coming out by the straight bit as a sentiment, both coming over the edge. So what I'm going to do in this bit, I'm going to put glue on that ribbon and glue on that ribbon as well. Okay. And then I'm going to pop this on here. I'm going to glue it, so that will hold the ribbon in place. How far up has this got to come? I think I'm going to... I'll put it on the wrong way round. I've got my fold this end, but never mind. So I'm going to pop it like that, I think. How much have I got? Yep, that looks about right. Okay, so that's where my glue is going to go. And that will hold the ribbon in place. Okay, getting a bit of glue on my fingers now. This is why I use tweezers. It does keep my fingers clean for quite a long time. Right, so adhere that bit down. And then, ooh, that was a bit heavy. Okay, then that's going to go on top there with dimensionals. There we go, easy. So I'm going to do that one, so it's slightly off, it's holding this on a bit. Slightly off there, so it's holding, that's also holding the ribbon, that one. So is that one. Let me cut one of these in half. Let's do that one there. Take that one. Oops, come back. I do it like that. Oops. Nope, let's move that. And now I need dimensionals up here as well. Let's close that before that dries out. Okay, so we have one there. And one there. If you want to put more dimensionals on this, just cut them in half so that you've got plenty to go into the narrow bits. There we go. And I'm just checking to see how much these stems go over that one there. So I've got the leaves coming down. So that looks about right. And there we go. It's a bit long. But do I worry about this? A little bit, yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that and that. I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to cut that, and there we go. That's both of them. That's a lot better. It's only a little bit now. So there we go. That's all 5 cards. I hope you've enjoyed it. It has been a long video, I know, but I'm trying to promote these as something to do during lockdown to keep you occupied, get rid of a bit of the boredom, and therefore you don't want something that you can get done in 5 minutes. Agreed? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you very quickly where I went off-piste and did my own thing. Okay, so what I'll do is, if I show you, that's what it should be like, and this is what I've done for this one. As you can see, I stamped it incorrectly the other side because I don't have the gold line. I made a mistake, so I turned it over and then I cut off where the gold line was. You see how this is much bigger? Because thank you, but I needed to cut it down because I've turned it sideways. The other thing that I felt about this one was it was a shame that you couldn't see very much of the flowers, so I exposed it. So pink lines in there, exposed that. So that was one of those. This one I only used one lot of the flowers. I didn't put that second lot on top. I cut the thank you out from there, so I cut the rest off. And I didn't use the underneath layer. I coloured all the leaves in, and when I did the flowers I did the light pink in the middle. I didn't leave it white. Okay, so these are all ideas of different things you can try. This one I used the background, one here, one there. Where's the one that it should be? Okay, that's what it should be like. Okay, so I've got 2 backgrounds on that one. This one, my favourite one. Now, the only thing that I didn't like about this is that it opens up like that, so it won't stand up. So I turned mine the other way round, like this, but it meant that I had the white gap underneath going up like that. But with the leaf up there, these other bits here, it doesn't really show, but at least now it will stand up, which I prefer. This one I've done with just the pink in the centre, half the leaves done. This one I did dark in the centre of the flowers and the leaves, but then I did the outside on both of them a lot lighter, but still doing it that way so it would stand up. And I put the flowers on the outside as well. Weren't they on the inside? Yeah, they were on the inside there. So I got them on the outside. Again, I just think it's a shame to cover them up because they're really pretty. Okay, so those. Not sure what I've done differently there. No, I think they're probably both the same. The one with the plums, I turned this, it should be like this. Okay, that's what we call landscape, but I've done them as portrait. But otherwise basically the same. This one I've coloured the plums in completely and the leaves. This one I put the gold at the back there, a bow there. That wasn't covering up, a mistake, that one. But yeah, a darker colour. I mean, without that flower, that'd be okay for a man, I think. Okay, so there's that one. And last but by no means least, where's this one? Right, this is what this one should be. Let me move these ones out of the way at the moment. I'm well kitted out for thank you cards for this month. Okay, so that's what it should be like. This one, I cut that in half and I put top and bottom. And I took one of these, which was, oh no, it was meant for this one. So I put that one in the middle. That was obviously stamped incorrectly because I've done the other side on that. And this one I've done the darker pink as well, Rich Raspberry. That's about the same, I think. Yeah, I obviously like that one. Now what made me do these? I think, oh, I know what happened with this one was this I cut in half. Yes, here we go. Oops. It's this, and I cut it in half. I cut the circle off so that I could bring this a lot higher, you see? And then because I did it like that, it looked rather bare in the middle. So I did the other flowers. This was stamped and coloured and then fussy cut. Okay, so these are all different ideas. I will try and get photographs of many of these as possible on my blog. What day shall I say that I'll do them? It's the 16th of April today, which is what, Thursday, Friday? I'll put them on my video on Friday the 17th of April. Okay, so many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this little work through of the Lots of Happy stamp kit. If you bought one, it would keep you busy for a long time, really it would, you've seen. And it's fun, this one. I have to say this is my favourite kit because there's just so much to it and so many different options. So there you go. Many thanks for joining me today, and if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the box below the video. Also in the box below the video will be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop where you can order this. If you've enjoyed my video and you think you may be interested in more about card making, please click on the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner and then the bell by the side of it, and you'll get email notification each time I upload a video. Many thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please take care, stay safe and stay well. See you another time hopefully. Cheerio.